Imagine holding a key that could unlock the full potential of your mind. Not just a key to memory, not just a key to focus, but a key to the very source code of your consciousness. This is the future Neuralink is working to build. Neuralink, a company founded by Elon Musk. They are developing a brain-computer interface, a small implantable device designed to connect your brain directly to the digital world. Machines that can read our thoughts. Machines that could write new information into our minds. The potential benefits are staggering. We could one day cure paralysis. We could one day cure blindness. We could treat devastating neurological disorders. The deaf might hear again. Those trapped in their own bodies could communicate freely. This is the bright, hopeful future Neuralink presents. A future where technology heals what was once thought permanently broken. But every great leap forward casts a shadow. What happens when this technology moves beyond medicine? What if you could enhance your brain, not just to heal it, but to make it better, faster, more powerful than nature intended? Would you take that opportunity? This is the ethical dilemma at the heart of Neuralink. The same tool that could give a paralyzed person the ability to walk could also give a healthy person superhuman memory or superhuman intelligence. This creates a fork in the road for humanity. One path to unprecedented healing, the other to a future we can barely comprehend. Promise and peril. The question is no longer if we can merge minds with machines, but when and how. Technology is advancing at a breathtaking pace. We are on the verge of a new era where the line between human and computer blurs. Are we prepared for the consequences? This essay will explore Neuralink, breaking complex science into clear, simple explanations. We will examine the promise for therapy and the unsettling possibilities of human enhancement. It's a journey into the human brain and the audacious attempt to rewrite its rules. We will show both sides, hopes and fears. Talking brain upgrades means talking inequality, control, and what it means to have a private thought. Who will have access to these enhancements? Who will control the data that flows directly from our brains? What happens to freedom and autonomy when minds can be influenced by corporations or governments? These are not distant sci-fi questions. They demand answers now. The decisions we make today will shape society for generations to come, defining the future of human experience itself. To understand Neuralink, we must first understand the brain itself. Think of it as the most complex supercomputer ever created. It contains around 86 billion neurons, specialized cells, tiny messengers. Each neuron talks to thousands of others. A network of staggering complexity. They communicate in a secret language, electrical signals. When you think a thought, when you feel an emotion, when you move a muscle, millions of neurons fire in specific, intricate patterns. They generate tiny electrical pulses, spikes. Spikes are the fundamental units of information, the ones and zeros of your biological operating system. For centuries, this internal world was a mystery. The brain was a black box. A brain-computer interface, a BCI, aims to change that. A bridge to the brain's electrical world, and to the digital world of computers. The goal: listen to the conversation between neurons by placing sensors on the brain or in the brain. A BCI can detect those tiny electrical spikes. It acts as a translator, decoding the brain's secret language for a computer. In simple form, it lets a person control a device using only thought. But it's grounded in real neuroscience. Every action has a neural signature. Decoding is incredibly challenging. Signals from single neurons are exceptionally faint. They are buried in a sea of background brain noise. Imagine listening for a whisper in a packed stadium at a championship game. That's the challenge scientists face. They must isolate meaningful signals from the noise, then figure out what those signals mean. That requires ultra-sensitive sensors placed as close to neurons as possible. It also demands powerful algorithms that learn patterns in real time. Neuralink's vision: master this at unprecedented scale. The quest to listen to the brain's electrical whispers is not new. In the 1920s, a German psychiatrist named Hans Berger invented the electroencephalogram, or EEG. By placing electrodes on the scalp, Berger showed it was possible to record rhythmic electrical waves. EEG is non-invasive and safe. It gave us our first glimpse into the living brain's function. However, EEG is like listening to the roar of a crowd from outside the stadium. You can hear the overall noise, but you cannot pick out individual conversations. To get closer to the action, researchers had to go inside. By the 1970s, scientists showed these signals could be used for control. They demonstrated monkeys learning to control a robotic arm using only their brain activity. This laid the foundation for modern BCIs. The first human implantable BCIs emerged in the late 1990s and the early 2000s. Pioneers developed devices like the Utah Array, a small grid of stiff silicon needles. These early systems let people with paralysis control a computer cursor, control a robotic arm, spell out messages, and even drink a cup of coffee. However, early BCIs had serious limits. They could record from only a few hundred neurons. The implants were bulky, required wires passing through the skin, and stiff electrodes could damage soft brain tissue over time. Into this landscape of slow, steady progress stepped Elon Musk. Known for his ambitious projects in electric cars and space exploration, in 2016 he co-founded Neuralink with a stated mission that was breathtaking in its scope. He wasn't just aiming to improve existing BCIs, he wanted to create a revolution. His initial goal is to address severe neurological disorders. But Musk's vision does not stop at therapy. He has spoken openly about a much more profound, long-term goal, the augmentation of human cognition, to ensure that humans can keep up with it. This dual mission, short-term therapy and long-term enhancement, defines Neuralink's identity. The medical applications provide the immediate justification. The enhancement goal, however, is what fuels the grander, more controversial vision. In 2020, they showcased their technology working in a pig. The next major milestone came in 2021 with a video of a macaque monkey named Pager. Pager continued to play the game, controlling the paddle seamlessly using only his mind. As of early 2024, the company has begun its first human clinical trials. The initial goal is to allow this person to control a computer cursor or keyboard. However, we are still a very long way from the more speculative goals. The company cannot read complex thoughts or memories. It cannot upload knowledge. The vision of a symbiotic relationship with AI remains firmly in the realm of science fiction for now. While the progress is real and the engineering is impressive, it is important to separate the present reality from the future speculation. At the heart of Neuralink's system is a remarkable feat of biomedical engineering. Neuralink has developed a sophisticated surgical robot. Its job: navigate the brain's fragile landscape, insert ultra-thin threads into precise cortical locations while avoiding blood vessels. The implantable device, called the Link, is a small coin-sized capsule that sits flush with the skull. Cosmetic, invisible once hair grows back. Connected to the Link are the threads. Each thread is about 1/20th the thickness of a human hair and contains 16 electrodes. That gives 1,024 channels listening to the brain. This all happens within the sealed Link device. It uses a low-energy Bluetooth radio to stream the massive amount of neural data to a nearby external device, such as a smartphone or a computer. This wireless capability is what makes the system truly practical for daily use. It grants the user freedom of movement. To solve this, Neuralink uses inductive charging. This clever solution ensures the device can operate continuously for years without requiring any further surgery. The real magic happens in the next step: decoding. The software listens to the storm of neural activity while recording the user's intended action. Once trained, the decoder can operate in real time. The decoding software instantly recognizes the pattern. It translates the neural data into a digital command. The technology isn't just for reading from the brain. It could write back by delivering tiny electrical pulses. This could provide sensory feedback, or it could disrupt abnormal neural activity. The most immediate and compelling promise of Neuralink lies in its potential to revolutionize medicine. This is not about a minor improvement. It is about restoring connection and independence. These sensory prosthetics bypass damaged pathways, linking the external world to the brain's perceptual centers, reopening windows to the world that were once sealed shut. While the medical benefits are profound, the path is fraught with significant risks. The first and most obvious danger is the surgery itself. Long-term biocompatibility is a major unknown. The brain's immune response forms scar tissue around the flexible threads, degrading recorded signals. The line between self and machine could blur, raising identity and autonomy questions. The psychological burden of being a cyborg reliant on corporate hardware is a risk we cannot ignore. A device capable of reading neural signals is, by its very nature, a surveillance device of the most intimate kind. Our thoughts, emotions, memories are the last bastion of true privacy. Could your neural data be sold to advertisers, insurance companies, or data brokers? A malicious actor could potentially access the data stream from your brain, and they could steal your private thoughts. This raises a fundamental need for new legal and ethical frameworks. The concept of cognitive liberty becomes paramount. If Neuralink moves beyond therapy into cognitive enhancement, it could create the most profound form of inequality society has ever known. The children of the wealthy could be given cognitive enhancements, giving them an insurmountable advantage. What chance would an unenhanced person have? A neuro-nationalism could emerge, leading to a new kind of arms race. This could destabilize global power balances and create new, terrifying forms of warfare. If our memories can be edited, our emotions regulated by an algorithm, and our skills downloaded from the cloud, what remains of the authentic individual? We derive meaning and a sense of accomplishment from the effort we put into learning a skill. By taking a shortcut around the process of effortful experience, we risk devaluing the very things that give our lives texture and meaning. If a person commits a crime, could they one day argue that their actions were the result of a hacked implant or a faulty algorithm? Who is responsible? The person, the corporation, or the code? When we step back, Neuralink emerges as a powerful symbol of technology's dual nature. It is the ultimate double-edged sword. Proponents argue the potential benefits are so great we have a moral obligation to proceed quickly. Conversely, critics and ethicists urge a more cautious, deliberate approach. The development of such a powerful tool demands a global conversation that includes scientists, engineers, ethicists, policymakers, artists, and the public at large. We stand today at a critical crossroads, a point of inflection in the human story. The path forward is not clear, and the stakes could not be higher. The journey into the world of Neuralink forces us to look in the mirror and ask ourselves what we truly value. Would you accept an implant for therapy, for enhancement? Who should decide the limits? We must decide whether we want a future shaped by market forces or one guided by shared ethical principles. The ultimate question is not what our brains can do for us, but what kind of humans we want to be. The conversation has just begun. Which country are you watching from?